some of this may be learned behavior. So this may be a lack mentality. If you grew up in a home where there just wasn't enough to go around, and that is an experience that I definitely have had, and it's still something that I struggle with all the time, is just this lack mentality, just constantly concerned about my money, my finances. And so it might be time to look at some of those belief systems that were kind of programmed into you from your immediate family, from your parents, from the way that you were raised, the schools that you went to, the people that you were around. Start looking at some of that and see how it might be have had a negative effect on you. Like one of the phrases, money doesn't grow on trees. That is a limiting belief, because the truth is money does grow on trees because it's made out of paper. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your reading. This is the Awakened Jen. All right, so today we're going to be using the Lightworkers Oracle. We'll pull one card from that to see what guidance we have for our spiritual path. And then we're going to pull 3 cards from the Gilded Tarot. This is a Barbara Moore deck. So we'll pull past, present, future to get a progression of where you've been, where you're at, where you're headed, so that if you need to make a course correction, we can do that at this time. Okay, so I am going to shuffle while I am setting some intentions. All right, so the first intention is that if you have come across this message, there is something in here for you. I set the intention that anyone who needs to hear the messages that come out in this reading will find it at the time that they need it most. I set the intention that all the messages that come out will be for our highest good. Okay, I set the intention that I will be given very clear messages, be given all the right words, phrases, anything needed in order to communicate the message as clearly as possible so that it can be received as it was intended. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. If you find value in this video, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to this channel. You can hit the bell for notifications, and it will let you know every time I post a new video, and I post about 4 to 5 videos a week. So, like I said, hit the bell. It lets you know every single time a new video goes up. All right. Okay, just a couple more, and we're good. All right, so we're going to start with the channeled message, Abundance, Initiation, Transition. So initiation actually came out yesterday too as part of the channeled message. And I think that it's because we did just have that full moon and eclipse, and those are activation energies. And it was actually mentioned in the channeled message. So what does Cancer need to know at this time? Abundance, initiation, transition. Changes are coming and bringing your abundance with it. The full moon in Scorpio / lunar eclipse were a time of activation and transformation. Big shifts were set into motion with those events that initiated you into the next phase of your life's mission and purpose. This will be pushing you into a completely different way of living. Keep in mind that abundance represents more than just money. Financial abundance may be the most easily measured, but it is often not the most soul rewarding. Be open to the possibilities of feeling abundant in your spiritual life, in your emotional life, or even in your family life, and cultivate a spirit of gratitude for all the areas of blessings in your life. Okay. So we have a new, whole new, because when I think of transition, that is moving from one way of being to a completely different way of being. And so you're just right now in that process. You're not there yet. You're right in the middle of it. But once you get to that other side, you do have the abundance coming in. And I think that it was the full moon energy and the eclipse energy that has kind of initiated this next step in your life's purpose, that is pushing you to this transition, to moving to a new phase of life that's going to bring in different levels of abundance for you. All right, so let's pull some cards. Let's start with the oracle. Deep breath. All right, so what does Cancer need right now for their spiritual path? Cancer spiritual path. We've got family of light. Okay. So that could potentially be your soul family or your spirit guides. I have not read this card, so we'll read that in just a minute. All right. Deep breath. Cancer, past, present, future, past. Cancer, past. All right, we've got the Four of Pentacles. So that is working on your stability. Sometimes it can be holding a little bit too tight to your money as well. Present. We have the Hierophant. This is spiritual guidance, but it is also about tradition and future. Okay. We've got the Hangman. So that is an opportunity to see things from a different perspective. So that is Taurus and Pisces, I think, that have come out. Yep. Go ahead and write that down. Taurus and Pisces. Sure I got that right. Yep. Okay. So, family of light. The limits that much of humanity place on their love, that they will love their own family, country, religion, or community better than they love those on the outside, do not restrain your heart. You are capable of loving humanity, of loving all of creation on earth as an extended spiritual family. You will love all as your own. You are meant to belong to a broader family of light. While some souls have incarnated to learn about us and them, others have the purpose of teaching unconditional, all-embracing love. You are one of these. You have taken life to love the many, not just the few. Which, as a Cancer, that makes so much sense because you guys are just all about nurturing and mothering. And I mean, you just exude the natural, unconditional love of a mother. So, for this life purpose to be anchored, issues in your biological family may keep you from bonding with them in a typical way. Perhaps you were the odd one out in your family, the one whom no one really understood. Perhaps you felt loved but couldn't live the way that your family seemed perhaps you felt loved but couldn't live the way your family seemed comfortable to live. Maybe you lost family members through divorce, disease, depression, and death, and through addiction or emotional immaturity that left you feeling disconnected from key family members. If your father figure was absent, whilst you must do the emotional healing work to process that pain, understand the purpose of that absence for your own spiritual connection to remain intact, pure, and powerful. If your mother figure was absent, whilst you are advised to do the emotional work to process that pain, understand the purpose of that absence for you to look beyond your immediate family to find your place and find yourself belonging to and being devoted to the entire human race. This pain was part of how you remained unconditioned by the more typical family bonds. Whilst these bonds are necessary for many souls to experience their life lessons, the difficulty you may have experienced regarding them help push you to become a child of love. You had to seek family in expansive ways, remaining open as you searched for love rather than feeling satisfied by your immediate tribe and closed to those outside of it. You can come through your experience not as a victim of circumstance, but as an empowered soul. Process it, heal, forgive, and step into the spiritual blessings gained through your atypical relationship with your biological family. Although you were not meant to belong in a traditional way to your family of origin, you shall not be denied the love that you need. You are here to help build a human family joined by more than just blood or legal union. It will not just be you loving the world, but the world loving you. The power of your heart to give and receive love shall not be wasted. So it is time to gently undo the patterns of attempting to fit in. Instead, trust that you are exactly where you were meant to be. When you do, your magnetism will draw love and friendship from those who vibrate at a similar level of consciousness to you. Leave past hurts and rejection behind. You no longer need them to grow. Be brave. Pray to connect to your family of light, not only in the spirit, but also here on earth. Let them in. Know that you belong here in spirit and in body to be loved, held, touched, listened to, and accepted just as you are. I choose of my own free will to receive all assistance from unconditional love so that I can peacefully process any unresolved hurt, rejection, abandonment, judgment, or betrayal. I have learned how to love more unconditionally through my experiences. I have learned that love allows all beings to freely choose how they wish to live. I wish to live with openness, love, and connection, in spirit and in the flesh, with those who can accept my love and love me too. Through divine grace, I ask for assistance in attracting my soul, tribe, and family of light, heavenly and human, that I may experience belonging and conscious community, sharing my light and love with others. Through unconditional love, may all beings feel the blessings of true family, of deep abiding divine love. So be it. So this is bigger than just, your immediate family. This is bigger than even your soul family, which is like different people that have incarnated at the same time as you to help you work through missions in this lifetime. This is bigger than that, because this is more than just the physical in front of you. It's also your spiritual, connections as well. But I like where it was talking about kind of reshaping if you've had experiences in your childhood of abandonment or of maybe like a narcissistic parent, that it helps you to kind of reshape and know that there was a purpose in that. And that purpose helped you to be able to not just love those people that are part of this little group, but you open yourself up to a much bigger love for the whole world. Because the love that was denied to you, you are freely giving out to other people. And so part of something that is coming to me from that I want to add is that sometimes if you feel like you're the one who's always giving out the love, that it makes it feel like that you aren't being loved, that you aren't loved, or you aren't love. So any of the love that you experience that you're able to give out, that is your love. That is the love that is within you that you're able to give out to these other people. And if you didn't have it there, you wouldn't have it to give. And even like anytime that you feel loved, that's still coming from within you. All the experience of love is within inside of yourself. So cultivate it there first so that you have something to give out to the rest of the world, and then start, attracting in and allowing in. Let other people love you. That is another thing with Cancers that I have noticed, is that they have a very hard time accepting help, accepting love, accepting, compassion or grace. They have a hard time not being the doer. They have a hard time, receiving and allowing. So that's the message that I saw from that. And so we're going to move forward with the rest of the reading. And we've got the Four of Pentacles. So this is about working on building your stability. The Four of Pentacles. You possess a certain amount of resources and you become possessive of them. You are hoarding your money, your time, your abilities. You've lost sight of what these things are for, and you face a lonely, unfulfilled future unless you use your resources wisely. Be aware of the opposite of extreme of giving away all you have so that you are depleted and have nothing left to offer. So again, looking at this channeled message where it was talking about abundance, your resources are not just your finances. Your resources is your energy, it's your time. These are things that like you trade for money as well. So like it has real value. And so make sure that you're not hoarding them in, but also not just, giving so much out that you have nothing left for yourself. You've got to make sure that you're cultivating it here first so that you have something to give. And that you feel it so abundant within you that you're not scared to share it because I don't have any left. Like if I give it to you, then I don't have anything left for me. So that's what we're going to work trying to really feel secure in that abundance, of the resources. All right. So moving to the Hierophant in the present. That is the message of the Hierophant reminds us that of the marvelous accomplishments of humankind and the great resources of knowledge that are available to us. Respect the achievements of generations past. Use that knowledge to create with usefulness and beauty. Do not disdain tradition out of hand, but see what wonderful things it has to offer. Be aware of following tradition blindly. Do not accept all knowledge without question. Rather, question authority. Make sure all beliefs and practices make sense to your own heart and mind before you make them a part of your life. So, some of this may be learned behavior. So this may be a lack mentality. If you grew up in a home where there just wasn't enough to go around, and that is an experience that I definitely have had, and it's still something that I struggle with all the time, is just this lack mentality, just constantly concerned about my money, my finances. And so it might be time to look at some of those belief systems that were kind of programmed into you from your immediate family, from your parents, from the way that you were raised, the schools that you went to, the people that you were around. Start looking at some of that and see how it might be have had a negative effect on you. Like one of the phrases, money doesn't grow on trees. That is a limiting belief. Because the truth is, money does grow on trees because it's made out of paper. So yes, it does. And when you say things like that, like money doesn't grow on trees, that puts a limit to how much money is out there. And it's a mindset. And another thing that people will say is, I can't afford that. A better thing to say is that's not a priority for me at this time. When you can rephrase things just a little bit, it helps you kind of reset the subconscious where all of those beliefs are kind of stored. Is that just that little bit, it's not a priority at this time, because the truth is anything that is important to you, you will find a way to make happen. If you need to be fed, you find food. If you need somewhere to sleep, you find somewhere to sleep. If you need water, you find these things. Like anything that is important, you will find a way to make it happen. It happens all the time. Like I have, things in my own life that I know, like, okay, I might have to work a little bit extra. I might have to do some overtime, but I have to make this happen. So like one of the things I'm trying to do right now is I'm doing therapy. Therapy is not cheap. That's an added expense that I didn't really have extra money for, but it's necessary. It's important to me, and I'm going to find a way to make it happen. And I have so far, and that's what, the money was there, the resources are there. And in fact, I found a therapist that actually, they have a sliding scale. They have scholarships. I mean, like they are willing to work with me. So there are other ways to accomplish things out there than just, giving of your money. You've just got to get a little bit creative and be open to the resources coming into you. And I think that is kind of a huge part of what the channeled message, I think that's why that last part even came out, is that we're not supposed to be so focused on the how does this happen, and not even so focused on the financial piece of things, because like I said, out of all of the gifts that you could be given, that's the least fulfilling out of all of it. All right, so we're moving to the Hangman. And so that is a chance to look at things from a different perspective. All right. More than any other figure in the major arcana, the hanging man resembles the fool. By turning himself upside down, by behaving in a manner not consistent with society, the hanging man may be judged a fool by many. The difference between the two is important, though. The hanging man has come through a challenging experience that gives him a sense of peace and understanding that only people who've successfully faced great trials can have. The sun represents his vision of himself and his place in the universe. He may flounder at times, but he knows who he is and from whence he gets his strength. He is willing to sacrifice society's approval in order to be true to himself, which that message just keeps kind of being very clear too. So you're possibly going on a very different path than you've ever been on before, and your family of origin, that's sort of where this seems like it's coming from, is not accepting of the direction that you took. All right. The message of the hanging man is knowing when and what to sacrifice. Be clear about who you are and let all your actions and decisions hang from that vision. Even if your actions feel clumsy or out of sync with others, sacrifice their favorable opinion rather than be untrue to yourself. Do not put more stock in what other people think than in what you believe to be right. Be aware of rationalizing bizarre or inappropriate behavior by saying you were just being yourself. Are you really? Or are you looking for an excuse to misbehave while feeling noble about it? Okay, so that's another piece to this that I do want to add that's coming out, is when people are resistant to change in ways that would be more beneficial to their life, a lot of times the excuse they give is, this is how I've always been, this is how I am, and that may be true, but has it gotten you where you want to be? So that's maybe something to look at as well, is, has it been working for you? Is it the way that you've been showing up actually beneficial? And be willing to look at yourself, in those different ways. And like, we all have areas to grow. If you've ever heard of your shadow work and your shadow side, these are the things we're supposed to be working on. We all have it. We all have parts of ourselves that we're not very proud of, that we know can show up better, that, we know we have to work on. It takes effort. That's not, a character flaw. That's just part of being human. And being willing to go there and to work on those things and to really continue to grow and evolve, that's what leads to expansion. And I mean, you're never going to get completely, to the end of this. That's just part of living. But you should have a desire to continue to be better than you were the day before. Okay. So can I get some information about what the transition is? It does appear to be in some belief systems based on your finances. So give me just some information about what this transition is that's taking place. Oh. Okay. Okay, so we've got the Four of Cups. So this is kind of not being satisfied with what you've been given, with the offer that's been given to you. And then the Knight of Pentacles came out in reverse. And the Knight of Pentacles is about doing the work. It's about determination. And so maybe because of a little bit of a unsatisfied attitude, it's caused you to just kind of pull back and not want to, do anything at all. But that has led to a lot of pain. The Ten of Swords is an extreme loss, and then this is a heartbreak. It's a heartbreaking loss. So what do we need to do? What can we do right now to kind of help us get over this little bit of a block? Okay. Okay. So we've got a new relationship. So this could be a new partnership, like a business partnership, a new friendship. It could be a new romantic partner, just wherever it applies. That's going to bring a lot of fulfillment. So, like, again, I feel like the abundance that it's talking about is not really the financial abundance. It's an emotional abundance. That's what this card really is about. It's complete emotional abundance. And then the Seven of Pentacles, this is doing the work. This is making sure that you've planted the seeds and you've watered and you've done everything that you could. And now then it's a case of just waiting for everything, all the work that you have put in. When you've done all that you can do, now it's just waiting for the fruits to be ripe. All right, let's see. Seven of Pentacles. You have sown seeds of some sort. They are bearing fruit, and it is time for the harvest. Take time to compare the investment with the results. If it is not what you'd hoped for, determine what you can do differently next time. Be aware of being so excited about the harvest that you neglect the balance sheet. So the message of that was more about making sure that the effort that you put in was to the right places. All right, let's see what else. I'm going to pull with the Light Seers Tarot some of the clarifying questions. Okay, so what do you have to look forward to right now? Okay. Okay, so we've got the Five of Pentacles. This is really getting out of your head. The opportunity is there. You've just got to get out of your own way. You've got to get out of your own way. Look up and see that the opportunity, the key to that door is right there. You're not missing it. You're just too focused on yourself to see it. Let's see, the Three of Pentacles. This is the opportunity to collaborate with others. You pull together each other's strengths to build something completely new and beautiful that you couldn't have done on your own. And then the Page of Pentacles, this is manifesting in a new opportunity. Let's see, Page of Pentacles. Manifesting new opportunities, beginnings, good news, ambitions, skills and training, financial opportunities. This is being a beginner at something, so it's learning something new. I can be practical and realistic and still run ahead and meet my dreams. Okay, so you are doing something, like I said from the channeled message, it's like you're moving from a completely different way of life, a completely different way to live. So it is new to you. Okay, so what does this situation look like in 6 months? Okay. So we've got the Death and Rebirth. This is the transformation. We've got the Chariot. This is very fast moving energy. It is victory. we've got strength. And then the Four of Swords is about rest and healing. So there's going to be a lot of healing coming. And, it may have been an intense season for a while, but the rest is coming. Okay. How can you stay positive at this time? So we're going to spend some time really self-reflecting on the belief systems that we've been programmed. Like, okay. When my kids were little, I have 4 kids, and one of the ways that I tried to keep us organized is that each kid was assigned a color, a certain color. This is your color so I bought plates and cups and any of their school supplies, any shirts, just anything that was all in their specific colors, so that I could look right away and I know who that belongs to. And, it just it helped. But for the longest time, and because I started it when they were so little, for the longest time, if you asked my children what their favorite color was, it was the color I assigned to them. That wasn't really their favorite color, but it had just kind of been beat to them so much that blue is you, red is you, green is you, that they really, for the longest time, believed that was their favorite color. And now that they're older, they all have a different favorite color. And I'm glad that they took time to really sit back and see, well, what is really true for me? Because just because I think that blue is a nice color doesn't mean that everybody else thinks that blue is the best color. So it's really getting a chance to know who you are and what it is you actually want for your own life. We have getting inspired and moving with the inspiration. And then this is putting your wish out there to the universe of what it is that you're actually wanting to bring into your life. Okay. So what is in your highest good at this time? Okay. So the World and the Ten of Wands, these are all about closing out a cycle. So if you're going to transition from one place to another, you need to close this one out so that you can move on to this one with no strings attached. So the World is about like the ending of a cycle, the completion of a cycle. The Ten of Wands is about releasing your burdens and learning how to say no. We've got the Knight of Swords. This is sort of rushing in to save the day. It can be a little bit impulsive, so make sure that you are not being too impulsive, actually thinking your way through it. And then the Tower. So this is the release. This is allowing what is trying to be removed from your life to be moved out of the way so that you can rebuild. So typically when the Tower shows up, that is because you've been holding on to something and you kind of refuse to let it go. I'm really bad about that. I am not good at letting things go. I will hold on to things forever. But when God knows that it is holding you back from the purpose that He has for you, for the mission that He has for you, and when you're actively putting out there these prayers of, I want this for my life, I want this for my life, and it's like, I'm trying to bring it to you. If you just let go of that person, that relationship, that job, that whatever has you but is holding you back into here, if you won't let go of it, a lot of times He'll clear the slate, and so that levels everything out, and it gives you a solid foundation for you to start building the new life from there. Okay. So I think that is all that I want to pull from this. I'm not going to do an extended on this. Yeah, we'll stop it at that. But I mean, it does look like there are positive things coming. It will be painful to let go of whatever this is, because like I said, if the Tower comes in, that means you didn't want it to go. That means that you are very, very attached to it, to the point that like God has to take it out of your life. He has to take it completely out of your hands and let him, just nope. So it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt to let it go. But that doesn't mean that it was that feeling of that, the sensation of the pain, the sensation of the heartbreak. It doesn't mean that it was supposed to be in your life. It doesn't mean that it's a mistake for you to move in this next path. It just means that it meant something to you. It was important to you, and it was valuable to you for a long time. And maybe that's the thing that you're having a very hard time letting go of. You're holding so tight to whatever this thing is, the old life, the old way of being, your old belief systems. You're holding so tight to these things that it's keeping you from the abundance that God has for you. So it's time to start letting go and, just allow. Like I said earlier, Cancers have a very hard time allowing. They are the doers. Well, it's time to soften that energy and be receptive. All right. So if you would like a personal reading, I do offer personal readings. I have a link for it down in the description box below. I do 30-minute or 60-minute videos, and the 30-minute is a 3-card spread, much like this. The 60-minute is much bigger spreads. You get tons of information. So if that's something you're interested in, I would be so excited to do that for you. Again, link is down in the description box. If you have found this video helpful, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to this channel. You can hit the bell for notifications. Also, if you would like, comment, share, that helps to grow my channel, and my channel needs the help, y'all. I've been doing this I started in October, and I'd really like to start seeing this move because I have messages that I think, have value if the people could just hear them. So if you would be willing to help me with that, to just share it, like it, comment, all of those things help the algorithm know that, hey, let's keep pushing this out to more people. I would be so thankful to you. All right. I'm going to stop there. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I'd love to hear from you about how this message has impacted you. And I will see you guys the next time.